Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destin Choice and you're watching Choice TV. For today's video, I really had to get on here and talk about Beyonce. I don't want to be the 1 millionth person that gets on the internet and talk about Beyonce because Beyonce doesn't really bother anybody. She doesn't really bug anybody and Beyonce doesn't really do anything. But realistically, I gotta get on here and talk about this because I feel like everybody's thinking it, but nobody really says it. But I really wanted to get on here and talk about parasocial relationships with a lot of entertainers. And I wanted to get on here and talk about the fact that Beyonce doesn't really have much of a personality and why she probably doesn't have much of a personality. And what really inspired this video was this. Beyonce recently came out with her hair care line, Secret.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now that Sacred is known for the quality and what it does for your hair, I think it's about time I show y'all what it does for my hair. I love the lather, it's very soothing, the smells. Because my color was fresh, we used the rice and rose water ritual. And there's nothing in the world like the conditioner. I love it, there's nothing like it.
Beyonce posting her hair care routine was a very intimate moment that we oftentimes see from a lot of our favorite YouTube bloggers and hair tutorial gurus. However, Beyonce was criticized in the comment section of a lot of people criticizing her because a lot of people feel as though that she only shows her personality or tries to be in her influencer bag when it benefits her. If you notice, Beyonce doesn't show anything. You look at Beyonce's eyes and you don't feel anything. You don't see anything. And we all know that eyes are the windows to the soul. But it's really odd how sometimes when Beyonce gets on the internet and she tries to interact with people, she never responds to comments, she never likes comments, and she never says thank you on social media or anything. It almost seems like she gets on the internet and then she shuts off. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and anytime Beyonce even interacts or connects with people, it just seems like she's reading off of a teleprompter. Her eyes get all big and she just seems like empty. And that's what makes people kind of concerned because they think to themselves, how are you even on the internet and you're not going to let people connect with you? Don't get it twisted. Of course, it's entitlement. People don't have to support or like or enjoy Beyonce or even pay her any attention. Beyonce comes from a generation where it was nice for a lot of artists to have that mystique aspect to them. We don't expect people like Sade to speak. We don't expect people like even Dolly Parton to speak and connect with people. But even at that, even they will go out of their way to try to sometimes make a post, communicate with their audience, maybe like a comment here and there. And Beyonce does none of that. But there's a deeper explanation as to why. And the reason why a lot of us can't connect with a lot of celebrities is because, again, a lot of us know that anytime a celebrity does something, it's always because they want something in return. And people like Lizzo are the epitome of that.
Yes, please be positive about your body. Please use our movement to empower yourself. That's the point. But the people who created this movement, big women, big brown and black women, queer women, are not benefiting from the mainstream success of it.
She'll be so quick to say this is our movement, our moment, LGBT plus women who are big, love yourself, and then be so quick to get on the internet and bitch and complain when people call her fat, and then start throwing it back again and then embrace her size. It's just a broad example that in media, celebrities and entertainers only do things that benefit them. If it means connecting with their audience, trying to be sweet and connect and be the whole influencer, a lot of celebrities will very much do that. Perfect examples are Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes during the 2020 riots. Now, during the riots and protests, Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello were one of the first entertainers to go out, protest, and for some odd reason, the minute they were out there were cameras following them, there was a news crew following them, and my main thing is this, how did the news crew know that they were out there? You know what I mean? They have face masks on, you can't even recognize them because they're wearing average clothes and everything. This clearly shows you that only time entertainers try to connect and be, you know, I'm a human being, I relate just like you, it always has to benefit them. That's why a lot of times when I see entertainers talk about, you know, fight the power, BLM, all that stuff, I always kind of side eye them because I never really know if they're being genuine or if they're just doing this because it's great media training and excellent PR. It also goes back to parasocial relationships. A lot of times, entertainers try to prey on the fact that a lot of us have parasocial relationships with them, so they'll pretend to care about causes and pretend to care about you and pretend to try to appeal to you for great media training. I mean, look at the Keaton Jones situation, that little boy from Tennessee who was out here crying because kids at school were talking about his nose and the way he talked and so much more.
While Keaton's viral video triggered an outpouring of A-list support, but also sparked some unwanted attention for his family.
They make fun of my nose. They call me ugly. They say I have no friends.
I just want to say you're inspiring so many people with your message and your authenticity.
J-Lo, Demi Lovato, Katy Perry, just a few of the stars standing with Keaton. Pitch Perfect 3's Haley Steinfeld even invited him to tomorrow's Hollywood premiere.
The young star of Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown, tweeted, "I think you're so cool, Keaton. I want to be your friend." And some players from the Tennessee Titans, where Keaton lives, invited Keaton and his family to come to the next home game. And some players asked if they can go have lunch with him this week at his school. The boy's mother posted the video on her Facebook page on Friday, then updating her page saying in part, "Overwhelmed is the understatement of the world right now."
Just to find out that kids at school were making fun of him because he was saying racial remarks that were upsetting a lot of students, and his parents and family got all types of Confederate flags on their page. But I'm getting a little sidetracked. Anytime you get a piece of what Beyonce cares about or a piece of what anything Beyonce likes or enjoys, in a nutshell, the way celebrity culture works, it has to somehow benefit them as well, instead of just generally trying to spread awareness or trying to connect with people. But let's put it this way. I think Beyonce just has boundaries. I think Beyonce has a spiritual force field in front of her because she doesn't want people to be able to connect, put things together, or get a feel of who she is or what she got going on. She's had enough of that, and I'll elaborate on why. And I hate to break it to y'all, but Beyonce at one point did used to show her personality. If you grew up listening to Beyonce way back during her Destiny Child's era, way back in the day before she really became mainstream like she is now, Beyonce did used to show her personality. She used to be very goofy and she used to be kind of ditzy and awkward, but she used to show her personality a lot and try to engage with people. However, the more Beyonce engaged with people and the more famous she got, she realized that she didn't really like engaging with people. A video from damn near 20 years ago has resurfaced on the internet of a fan walking up to Beyonce being very disrespectful to her group mates. And she tried her best to keep it classy, but you could tell she was irritated.
Hi.
How you right?
How you doing?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you so much, girls. Thank you. Thank you.
Just yours.
All right.
Cheers.
You do. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Hi.
In the clip, you can see Beyonce literally quickly passed it to Kelly and Michelle, and Kelly and Michelle quickly snatched it as the fan was trying to reach for it back.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
On top of that, throughout the years, she has made it clear that she has a very hard time adjusting to fame. Hell, even to this day, she has a hard time adjusting to everybody in her face, in her business, or always walking up on her because there's nowhere she can go in the world where people don't know her.
Beyonce?
Yes.
Do you miss going to the mall and going to buy fish and chips and going to watch films with your friends and stuff like that?
Yes.
How do you compensate for that? How do you now spend time with your loved ones?
I do spend time with my loved ones all the time. My family travels with me, and I'm fortunate because when I'm away from home, I bring home with me.
Okay.
The time that it really gets to me the most is when I'm with my family eating, and people come.
And ask for
and
autographs.
ask for autographs.
And then paparazzi all over the place.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes.
I mean, just from hearing that interview, that should give you everything you need to know. People are too infatuated with her to the point where they don't really give her much space. Then think about the fact that when she does interviews, people are so invested in her opinions about things that don't really matter.
Your husband, Jay-Z, had a lot to do with Rihanna's early career. And back in February, he said he thought everyone should support her in that mess with Chris Brown. How do you feel about that whole thing?
Well, I think she's doing a lot better. She is such a very talented woman and very smart. And I think it's really important in those times of need that people give people their privacy.
And that's where the parasocial relationship comes in. Because oftentimes when Beyonce's standoffish or she's not as open as she used to be, people think that she's a bitch and that she's bratty and she's entitled and she doesn't appreciate her fans. I'm sure she does appreciate her fans, but I'm sure she doesn't appreciate all the vultures and crazy people out there. For one, if Beyonce even shares anything personal, people pick it apart, break it apart, twist it, bop it, turn it, and throw it right back in her face, and it makes you wonder, why did she even open up in the first place? A good example is this. There are moments where some of you watching this will vent and then you immediately regret it because you think to yourself, fuck, now this person can throw it in my face if they ever get upset. A lot of us have been there where we've opened up and vented to people and they've just thrown in our face. So most of us are traumatized, just like how Beyonce be traumatized when she shares personal things about herself. I mean, look at her pregnancy. Y'all remember when she literally was pregnant with Blue Ivy? And back then, people like Wendell Williams, the capital P, Wendy Williams, was out here saying that she was faking her pregnancy, and people were accusing her of wearing a prosthetic belly.
I couldn't wait to talk to you about this Beyonce baby bump conspiracy, rumor, fake pregnancy thing that's being alleged. I just don't even know where to start, so I'm going to take you through it step by step. Here's how the rumor got started. Beyonce recently, like last Sunday, appeared on an Australian show. And when she sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled. Hold on. As ridiculous as it sounds, you know I did my research and we've got the video to prove. Hold on. So people started questioning, was this baby bump real or fake? Now, being a woman who, you know, I had my baby bump, many of you have had baby bumps, I never remember my baby bump squat. Just take a look at the video. Okay, so here's Beyonce and she's walking out and everything is fine, she's 5 months pregnant. Then she sits down and, okay, no, we're gonna rerun it until you see it. Let's do it in slow motion. You'll notice she's either giving birth to a Frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is, there it is. What that is, B?
And then people were saying that her belly was folded and she probably has a demonic demon baby in her body and all types of shit, which is a little bit insensitive. Then y'all remember that era where a lot of people were trying to ask her before she even had a baby, when is she going to have a baby? When is she going to have a baby? Like that one time she was sitting with AJ Calloway from 106 in Park, and he asked her, when are her and Jay-Z finally going to settle down and have kids?
I'm getting better. Think about little ones for yourself, maybe? Eventually. When it happens, it happens. Yeah? Yeah. You want a family, big family, small family? I'm not sure. I definitely want a family. I'm too close to my mother. Does he keep you laughing? It's a good way to get me to talk about. I'm just because he's hilarious. He's funny, but a lot of people don't know that. Clever. Yeah. Did he keep you laughing a lot? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, the question I actually really want to ask is, does Jay want to be a father? Does he want kids? Are you serious? I gotta ask. You gotta ask Jay. Yeah? Yes. Okay. So next time I see him, I ask him. You should. Well, I know you want to. I'm just, you know. Are you trying to play little Cupid or something? Yeah, well, no, y'all already married. Yeah, we are. We are. You know, that's first comes marriage, then come. Isn't that a song? I don't know.
And then y'all saw how pissed off and irritated she got. Now, fun fact, Beyonce actually had a miscarriage around this time. And we didn't even know this until she came out with her documentary where she basically showed off her pregnancy with Blue Ivy and documented her whole journey with Blue Ivy.
The world didn't know that you'd had a miscarriage. So you made a conscious choice to share that. Why?
Well, I felt like there are so many couples that go through that. And it was a big part of my story. It was one of the hardest things I've been through. And
how did y'all keep that a secret?
It's one of the reasons I did not share I was pregnant the second time, because you don't know what's gonna happen, and that was hard because all of my family and my friends knew and we celebrated. I'm not the only person that goes through that. So many people go through it, and in the end I have my daughter, and there is hope. I feel so fortunate.
Did you live in fear though every month?
I did.
For this second pregnancy, did you live in fear?
I did.
And when you were dancing on stage and you're doing all that?
Yes.
Yeah. Were you afraid?
I was afraid, but my doctor told me that I was completely healthy and don't be crazy and paranoid and to live my life.
Now, most of us didn't even know that she had miscarriages until after she had Blue and until 2013 when she opened up the body with Oprah. But yet people were begging her and telling her, when is she going to have kids? And she's hitting 30. She might as well have kids already. People will even grill Beyonce about not doing events, not doing pop-ups. And people even grill Beyonce about not even doing meet and greets anymore, even though her fans go so hard for her and they're willing to pay upmost $10,000 for concert tickets just to see her up close. And a lot of times she doesn't even do meet and greets. That's why I see why she charges y'all when it comes to showing her personality. And I get it, because a lot of people who are as big as she is or big entertainers always need to have their guard up unless there's a benefit, because, I mean, the minute you lower your guard, people will walk all over and take advantage. So you might as well make sure you make it benefit you and work in your favor. Beyonce just wants to be paid for her service and to live her life. It's our choice whether or not we want to support her, because there's just no benefit in being kind to strangers all the time. I mean, look at this situation. Kelly Rowland went to an event and she wanted to be kind and donate her time in terms of taking photos with supposed fans. One supposed fan tried to embarrass her and tried to accuse her for being responsible for animal cruelty.
Yeah. This goes out to all the animals that were tortured and murdered so Kelly can wear their fur. Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Kelly Rowland has blood on her hands! 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 Blood, blood, blood on your 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 hands! Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Everyone also death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade! Death trade! Fur trade!
And mind you, this was a press event. This had a lot to do with something she was promoting, and she wanted to take photos with so-called fans. They didn't pay to just be in there. This was done obviously to try to embarrass her, and this is why sometimes a lot of entertainers aren't kind. This is why some of y'all shouldn't be surprised when you meet certain celebrities and they aren't nice or kind, because the way the world is, people are only nice and kind to those that they can connect to, benefit from, and relate to. So if Beyonce doesn't even know who you are, you can't really be shocked that she doesn't want to extend her peace, life, and kindness to you. It makes you wonder why a lot of times when a celebrity tries to put themselves out there, or they try to literally share something personal or try to do something social to make the world, like them, it makes me understand why they want to make sure they get something in return. Like when they try to align themselves with wokeness and political correctness to promote a certain presidential or political candidate in order to make themselves look more sustainable and make themselves look more woke and hip with the shit to their fans.
Designed some boxer briefs that both men and women and non-binary people of all gender appropriations and the pronouns, everyone is included.
Every time you look at a lot of celebrities, they're always on their performative activism bag, where if they're even speaking, knowing that it'll get flipped in their favor, they try their best to use their speaking moments as a way to be performative or talk about social political issues. We live in a really odd culture where if you even say anything political or social that doesn't follow the popular opinion, you automatically get ostracized and pushed aside. I remember many years ago, before Cardi B blew up, she went on IG Live and she spoke on how she feels like everybody is fake because you have to be performative in order to be taken seriously, because it'll inevitably overshadow anything you try to promote.
My nigga, like when I became famous, it's because I was speaking shit out my mind. Now I can't even say shit out my mind because it's like, I feel like I'm in, like if I say something, people gonna be like, oh, you insulting this, you insulting that, you insulting these people, you insulting that, and it's like, damn, my nigga. Y'all forcing me to be fake. Like, I hate that people is forcing me how to be fake. I don't like being fake, my nigga. I was never a fake bitch. Shit is wild whack, bro. It's crazy. Like, in order for you to live this type of lifestyle and see all these beautiful views, you gotta be a fake-ass person, bro. And I hate being fake. I was never a fake bitch. But now I gotta act like shit don't bother me. Like, I gotta act like shit is so cool. I gotta act like I don't give a fuck. And I do give a fuck.
And when they are authentic, they're scared of their authenticity being thrown in their face. I mean, look at someone like Sydney Sweeney, for example. Sydney Sweeney is a popular 27-year-old actress from the TV show Euphoria. And she was kind enough to actually share her mother's 60th birthday on social media with her whole entire fan base. And guess what people did? Instead of wishing her mother a 60th happy birthday, people dug a little bit deeper and people ended up finding a lot of her relatives were actually Trump supporters. They found tons of photos posted all over social media of her relatives who are related to her, posting up pictures wearing Blue Lives Matter flags on their bodies, wearing Make America Great Again hats, and much more. And mind you, Sydney Sweeney wasn't even on that shit. She didn't post anything involving that. but they grilled her for it and tried to cancel her because of what some of her cousins, uncles, and relatives were wearing. And mind you, we don't really know her political affiliation. We just know that she has relatives that lean more towards the right. And of course, people were so quick to tell her, you need to find better pictures to post, to where she literally had to respond to the backlash and say, you guys, this is wild. An innocent celebration for my mom's milestone 60th birthday has turned into an absurd political statement, which was not the intention. Please stop making assumptions. Much love to everyone, and happy birthday, Mom. It sucked that she literally had to take this whole situation and turn it into a vile statement because everybody was automatically critiquing her about the kind of things that she posts on her own social media. And this is where the parasocial relationships come from. It's like, what does that have to do with her? She didn't even post that on her social media. People just put the pieces together and saw that she was associated with them and automatically tried to find a reason to cancel her. And it's like, damn, like, she didn't even have to share her mother's 60th birthday with the world. She could have kept that to herself. But that's a good reason why a lot of times celebrities don't share anything, because those parasocial relationships will oftentimes cause people to cross boundaries. You know, a great example is even Doja Cat. Doja Cat, being one of the best-selling artists in this past decade, gets a lot of flack because when she's on live, she can get very snippy with people and call people out on their shit. And it's really a shame because the same people who defended her when she was in all her scandals and the same people who stream about her music, she is quick to tell them to go to hell, I'm blocking you, leave me alone, I'm blocking you, blocking her fan pages and acting stank. And it's really a shame because Doja Cat kind of made it clear, I'm not your friend and I'll do whatever I want, kiss my ass.
There's a lot of people I don't like who I listen to their music and there's a lot of people I don't know that I listen to their music and if I knew them, I probably wouldn't like them. I listen to a lot of music and there's no way I would be best friends with every person that I listen to their music. I'm not your friend. I make music and you like it. And if you don't, cool, great. I don't give a I'm not doing it so that you like me. I'm doing it because it's fun. I love my fans. I love all the people who support me. I love the people who... I wouldn't have this painting in front of me if it wasn't for my fans. I wouldn't have food on my table if it wasn't for my fans. But I'm not giving them all the credit because I do work my ass off, so it's like a 50-50 thing. I don't want to be anything like you. I don't fuck with y'all. I don't fuck with y'all. So y'all the ones giving me the fucking fame. Not me. Okay? Not my hard work. Not my effort. I guess it's a two-way street. Maybe it's 50-50, right? I work my ass off. Y'all buy tickets. I make music. Y'all shake ass. But we don't have to be friends, bitch. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I want you to know that. I'm going to solidify that right now. I am not your fucking friend.
So Doja was not playing with people like back 2 years ago when she was being rude to her fans. And guess what? She ended up having one of the biggest songs in the entire world. But I understand where she's coming from because essentially she's making it clear, I'm a celebrity, and when it comes down to celebrities, they don't owe you anything. I mean, I shop at Target when I can. Like, does Target, does the CEO and the owner of Target owe me letters? You know, just because I, you know, shop or eat at my local taco truck, should the owner or the person who's the co-owner of the truck, should they be writing me letters and telling me how much they care about me? Should they want to come out and personally meet me? I mean, it would be nice if the owner of Target wanted to personally meet me, or if the person at your favorite restaurant wanted to come out and shake your hand and thank you for your support. It'd be nice, but they don't owe you anything because they didn't beg you to come out and support their restaurant. You chose to come to their restaurant. They don't have to write you a letter. They don't even have to go on social media and tell you thank you for reposting their food on your story. They don't owe you shit because you don't have to support them. So I get why a lot of times people, like entertainers like Doja Cat and celebrities like Sydney Sweeney or Beyonce in general, don't really give a fuck to try to interact with their fans, because in the back of their mind, they see it as, what's in it for me? Why should I do that? What a waste of time. Why should I waste my energy? If you want to support me, great. And if you don't, all well. A good example was even Tyla. Now, Tyla got a lot of backlash a couple of days ago because if y'all didn't know, people were calling her an uppity African because she's from South Africa and essentially she tried to act...
I'm not strong enough. Please. Are you able to open me? Yes, thank you. I'm sorry.
Now, her doing that in general kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and it even put a bad taste in my mouth because why can't you hold your own award? Like, that's rude. Like, I've never seen anybody do that ever. So for her, has anything to do with her being a bratty diva. Yeah, she was being a diva. Yeah, she was being a brat. Yeah, she's a little entitled. But I don't think her being racially ambiguous and her being a South African has anything to do with that. South Africans are actually very laid back, open, real, fun-loving, and humble-ass, hospitable people. So when people do the whole uppity African, I may thought to myself, well, damn, maybe she shouldn't have told anybody she was African. Maybe people would be constantly picking her apart. I have been open with my audience for a long time. I've talked about family issues, relatives who ain't shit. I've talked about financial stuff. I've talked about psychological things, mental health, ADHD, being on medication, all types of stuff. And guess what? When I opened up about taking Adderall a couple years ago because I have ADHD and I have a hard time sometimes focusing, tell me why people were saying, oh, that's probably why your big ass lost weight because of those fucking Adderall drugs. And then there was somebody who literally went out of their way one time where, let's say I literally made a video talking about a very sensitive topic and someone did not agree with what I said. So instead of telling me that they didn't agree and trying to literally counteract me and tell me that I don't make any sense, they literally went out of their way to say, you know, I literally used to like your videos, but now you're literally just like your sister. I was like, bitch, don't make me get my gun. It makes you wonder why you even open up in general. So people are scared of, especially celebrities, having shit thrown back at them. That's why oftentimes a lot of celebrities try their best to just lay under the radar, lay low. And that's why you don't see some of your favorite actors who just came out of a movie or who just came out of your favorite TV show going on live, interacting, communicating, mingling, and letting people get to know your personality. So it makes me understand why Beyonce ain't got no fucking personality and she damn near look possessed like she's on that demon time or some shit. It would be nice if a lot of them were nice and cool and polite. Even the ones that you see on the street who are nasty to photographers or rude to photographers. In many cases, a lot of them are trying to protect themselves. When people are mean, even you, like some of y'all out there who are probably mean and not nice to strangers, I don't attribute people who are mean as being horrible people. Sometimes people are mean as a defense mechanism. Some people are mean and cold and standoffish as a means to protect themselves from outsiders or potential threats. So when someone's not nice, I understand why. Because of this crazy ass, heathen ass world we live in. I mean, there's been instances where so many celebrities are approached by fans and approached by paparazzi, and they do the most absurd, outlandish shit, and then they flip it, and they literally throw your reaction in your face and think that you're pitch perfect, should always be smiling all the time.
Are you WWE in it?
Yes.
Wow, whoa.
Okay.
Nice to see you. I'm with John Cena at WWE, innit?
Thank you for asking.
Why is that you? Or?
No, thank you for asking to take your video.
Oh, sorry.
So I get why people like Beyonce is soulless and you don't really see shit in her eyes. All I will say is this. When it comes down to entertainers, they're not your fucking friends. They're not your aunts. They ain't your granny. They ain't your cousins. When it comes down to them, they don't owe us shit. If you see your favorite entertainer on the street or you see your favorite influencer on the street, don't be so shocked if they're nasty or mean to you or they be like, and they give you a nasty attitude. I've met some entertainers living out here in LA who I thought were going to be cool and then they ended up being nasty motherfuckers. We don't need entertainment celebrities being nice to us because that's what your friends are for. That's what your mammies for. That's what your daddies for. That's what your pappies for. And that's what your kids are for. That's what your fucking dogs are for. If you want somebody to give you emotional support or comfort or kindness or sweetness, get a fucking Yorkie, get a dog, get a kitty cat or some shit. That's what your emotional support system is for, and we can't always rely on entertainers to connect with us. But that's that for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, that's that. Choice out this bitch. It's like I wanna awaken, with your friends are from the faking, if the friends are from the faking, I ain't never gonna shout you out. Never heard how to know. It's right over your face. Baby, I can be your halo. And know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. And living all over your face. Baby, I can be your halo. And I can be your halo. Halo, I can be your halo. Halo, I can be your halo. Halo. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, that's that. Thank you.